and a 1 and a big bing, and we're live. It's Sam and Fred. Here we go. Yes. So we've got a little time before doing the Elixir stuff to maybe see if we can finish up our local support stuff. My brain is just switching gears. I was looking at the autograders, but local support, I remember we were looking at the Google Maps key thing, weren't we? Do you want to get a screen share on, and we'll have a look at the where we were up to in the code?
My screen.
I think I've rebooted my computer since we did.
Okay, can you see my desktop?
Yes, I think so. Yep, I certainly can.
Okay.
Okay, so right. So I'm just looking at my code, and I think I'd moved over onto a different branch to help Marcelo on a different thing. But we were working on something else, weren't we? Yes, I think we had a new branch. I think it's this one.
Yeah.
The map API key rebooted. Yes, that's where we are. Now, I remember one thing that I feel like the test that we've got is not great at the moment, and there's maybe some other changes. But I think it was it's coding on your side that needs to happen next. Do you want to just make sure that you're on that branch on your own?
This is where we stop time.
Okay, you've still got the same thing set up. Yeah, and so I think that the test, the individual test, passed there, didn't it? We had a new test that we'd added somewhere, didn't we?
Yes. We added something on application.html.erb.
Yes, well, we've added the key.
Yeah.
We've also added, I think it's the map feature test. Yeah, it's at the end of the map feature test. So I'm just going to run it on my side. Features, what's this? Is on the home page. Map feature 92. So I think this is failing on my side. File specified to RVM use. Oh, actually, am I on a different? I may need to do the same thing that you. Yeah. So RVM it's minus default use 2.3.1.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yes. Okay. So now I can run that test. Yes, and I think where we got to was this test was failing for me, which we expected. It's not a great test at the moment, but sometimes you just want a bit of a something failing to move forward. Yeah, so then if we go now if you run the same test on your side.
Okay. Let's see. I think this is the command.
Yep, that's the one. Yep. No, and I think that passes, and I think it passes for the right reason. So if we look at your, maybe if you go to your RubyMine, and we look at, but what we want to do sort of is look at the test and the code side by side. I'll show you actually on my RubyMine how I kind of often set that up to look at it. So if you actually come to my screen for a second.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go from, so the key part of our test is checking the Google Map key. Is, as I said before, I'm not very pleased with this test. I think we might try and improve it, but let's go. This is the test. We're trying to match the existence of that key in the page, and then here what I'm tempted to do is if I split the screen horizontally like that, then I can still see there. But what I would like to have, but if I move the application thing to here, there we go. So this is like the setup that I'd like to see. Like this is the place where, you know, like under test, and this is the test itself. So we can see those two things side by side. Do you want to try and get it set up like that in your RubyMine so we can carry on working on the two things side by side?
Okay. So I need to find the map.feature, right?
Yeah, that.
Where is it? Map
So that's in, yeah, features, homepage.
feature, homepage, map.feature. And I can split the window.
Yes. So in order to split the window, what you need to do is you need to do the, like, if you do it inside the window, it doesn't quite work. But if you do it on the tab, so where it says map.feature at the very top of your like, you see like the little tab, there you go. It's got split vertically and split horizontally. I think split horizontally is probably, I think with the text that we've got at the moment, probably split horizontally is the way to go. Yeah. And then, yeah, so you've got the, so then within map feature, if you scroll down within map feature, we've got the test there, but on that, you probably want to show the line numbers as well. But that, on that where it says, then I should see the Google Map key in the correct location. So there's a, what you probably want to do in RubyMine is, well, maybe you prefer not to have the line numbers when you're working separately, but they're on line 94. If you put the cursor on line 94 in the map.feature thing, and if you then hold down that you're on OS X, if you hold down the command key and press B, there you go. It'll jump you directly to the. I find that's kind of one of the key things that makes RubyMine worth using. Probably you can do it in Vim as well, but it sort of works out of the box in RubyMine. So what surprises me slightly about the fact that the test is passing is that we're expecting the page body to have this kind of key equals, and then we've got the env variable hard coded in there, but you've got the you know, the key with that thing. I like, as the code stands there, I'm slightly surprised that env gmap API key kind of maps to that same thing. Do you know what I mean? Do you have an environment variable set for gmap API key?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So do I have to check the .env file?
Well, you could, yeah, you can certainly look at the .env file, and yeah,
No,
it doesn't have it there. Do you want to have a look at go to the terminal and just type env?
and grep?
And you can grep for, yeah, like map or whatever, gmap. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. No. Okay. So in that situation, I'm tempted to put bybug in the test and kind of run the test again with bybug in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. It's interesting. You've lost your line numbers again. It seems to be a very temporary line number setting. Do you prefer to not have the line numbers normally?
Yeah, I definitely need to have the line number. So maybe I should set in the preference.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. If you go into preferences there, and if you just type line number into the little just line, and then I think it's under general appearance, editor general appearance. See on the left.
So yeah.
If you click on the one below, you've got, like, you clicked on general at the moment. I think if you click on appearance, the little subheading underneath general there. Exactly, yeah, click on appearance.
Sorry, where?
So it looks like you've got general highlighted in blue. Can you click on the word appearance underneath? There, exactly, there you go. And then it's highlighting. Yep, that's the one. Oh. And then I think if you close that, you should have line numbers permanently now. You can always turn them off in the same place. Okay, cool. So you've got the bybug in there. Do you want to rerun the test?
Yeah, sure. print the, let's see, print the MV.
So you could, yeah, you could even copy and paste that env like on line 134. Here I might be tempted to copy env, the full, exactly that thing that we're trying to look up there, and then paste that into the terminal. And
Nil.
that's nil. Right, okay, yeah, okay. I think I did work this out towards the very end of the session, and I think because it's nil, that's evaluating to the empty string, and so the basically there is the presence of the key being what we end up only checking for here is we're just checking that within the entire page we have the characters K, E, Y, and then the equal sign, which we do, and so it's not really check it. That's one of the reasons I was saying it's not a very good test. So I guess the next step is we could think about you know, how to improve the test to make it more reliable. Do you want to, like, I notice on the top half of your screen you've got it's gone back to map feature. Do you want to just move it back over to application.html.erb? Yeah, there you go. So I guess the question comes back to, you know, what's the best way of inserting this key when we want to have this key? I don't know if you've had any thoughts about that since we last paired.
So let's see. So I need to find if there are any other key equals to nil.
So, sorry, say again.
So because in our test we expect there is a key equals nil, right? So I guess there is another parameter also called key, and the key equals to nil. So the test passed.
Well, I think that the test has passed. Actually, if you just look at my screen for a second, I think
Okay.
I mean, I don't have exactly your code, but the code that you've got, I think. So this kind of, you know, ends, and you've got in here at ampersand key, or we've got the amp key equals this. And see, if I just add that on my side, the test will pass, because what's happening if I do the same thing that you're doing there? Let me get where's the map steps gone? Let's pull that back up there. And map steps. If I put by bug in here, see there, yeah, that's passing for me. So if I do the same that you've done and drop into that test there, so we saw that the env key is nil, but so the interesting thing is if we assess this whole regular expression, we see that it's just matching for the presence of that key equals. So my sense is that it's like, I don't think we have the key equals anywhere else in that file. We only have it here, right? Do you know what I mean? But so the kind of, when this is nil, this kind of gets ignored. So it's just matching for the key. So we need to write a stronger test, but we also need to avoid hard coding the secret key into you know, the layout. And so we were talking about Figaro and .env, and there's another one, there's like Rails config. Did you have any thoughts about the different ways of doing it since we last paired, or? We might have lost Fred. You still there, Fred? Hello. I can't hear any audio from you at the moment. I think my audio is still working because the green dots are still going. Well, I don't know if you can hear me, Fred. Maybe you can hear me. Yeah, I can't hear you. Okay, so you can hear me. I wonder. Did your microphone or headphones get unplugged? Yeah. I wonder if it's a problem on my side with my audio. I'll just play the test sound. I can hear the test sound from Google Hangouts. So what you might want to do, Fred, my recommendation is, one is if you're using a headphone microphone, is to try and unplug and plug that back in again. And then the other thing to do would be just to sort of reload the Hangout. So you can just do Command R in if you're in Chrome or what it looks like it's in Firefox. Here we go. Oh, here we are. I think yes, I can hear you again. There you go. We had a little Hangout lost there. Yeah, so I guess there I'm sort of just checking. Does what's happening with the regular expression there make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But so we want to. I mean, there's sort of two things that we want to do. Is one, we kind of want to make the regular expression stronger so that the test is stronger, and two, we want to make sure that the key is not in the layout. Did you have any thoughts about how we might do that since discussing it last time? Oh dear, we lost Fred there again.
Sorry, my connection dropped.
No problem. I'm trying to turn your video off as well, actually. We often find that the video, you might want to just go to share screen. It usually consumes less bandwidth than the video. And usually the video is kind of, I mean, it's a nice thing, but it's certainly not necessary. So yeah, I'll just try that again. So that we want to achieve these two things. One is a stronger test, and two is, a good way to avoid the key being hard-coded in the layout file. Did you have any thoughts about either of those things since last time?
No,
No.
I think since you mentioned that we should avoid hard-coded the key in the layout
Hmm.
file, so I guess we probably need to use the figure
Hmm.
or .mv.
Yeah. So we've got those options, haven't we? We've got there's three different things. There's .env, there's Figaro, and there's another thing called the Rails config. I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I put a note in the pivotal error. I was thinking probably Figaro might be the easiest one to do. But so I guess the thing to do. Do you want to go to your RubyMine?
yeah, sure.
And what we'll try and do is we'll try and follow the flow of this kind of ping pong. Have you heard of this ping pong pairing concept?
No.
So this is from pair programming, is the idea that one person writes the test. So I wrote the first test, and then the second person makes a change in the code base, and you've made a change in the code base to make the test pass, and then you might improve the test to make it fail again, and then I'll try and fix the code. So I wonder if we have a look at the test there. I mean, I might add. Oh, we've got two threads, double thread. Oh dear, trouble with the connection there.
You mentioned the ping pong.
Yeah, the ping pong. Yeah, go on to screen share before, if you can. We don't want to have your video suck up the bandwidth if we don't need it to. But so, yeah. So
Okay.
ping pong, but basically ping pong means that one person writes a test, and the next person writes some code to make it pass, and then they also write another test which fails, and you basically take turns trying to fix each other's tests, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. But is there only one person dedicated to writing tests and another people dedicated to writing code?
Hmm. Yeah, with the pairing. So yeah, so I've written. Go on.
So they the roles.
Say again.
I mean, will they switch the roles? Like,
Yeah, they
like
switch the driver navigator roles on the test. When the test fails, then it's time to switch driver navigator roles.
oh, I see.
So what I'm thinking is, could you make an improvement to this test here?
Mm-hmm.
So if you in the map steps. So I know that you don't know Cucumber so well, but this is just our spec here. So I think, well, looking at it for you, can you think of a way to improve the test?
Yeah. So first of all, we need to make sure the NV key map API key won't be nil, right?
Yes. Well, I think what we probably want to check is if it is nil, then we don't want to have any key, because that's the situation we're going to have in production, aren't we? Because we're not going to have the key in production. So yeah, probably we want to check first if env gmap API key is nil, then we shouldn't expect to find. We should like to have expect page body not to match key equals.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you want to write that code on line 133?
Actually, I just learned a little bit about aspect, but I'll try. If
Yeah.
you can.
So it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, so first of all, we should make sure that NV is not real, right? So
Well, I think we can start off by just doing a check for saying it if it's nil. So you could do if env what I would type if and then space the capital ENV
V.
Yeah. And then, yeah, let's check if it's nil or not.
Right.
Yeah, we could have that not there. I think it would be more Ruby-ish, maybe to have, we can put .nil question mark on the end of it. I think you want, there's this .nil question mark like this on the end. Did you see what I put in the chat there? So I think we need it to be after the square brackets.
Oh, .nil.
Yeah, rather the way you got the question mark. So we can, I think that will work. So we can kind of ask it if there's the nil there, and then so I think when it's nil, we probably want to change it so that it says expect page body dot not underscore to match. So we might want to change that on line 135. Yeah. Not, yeah, and then underscore to not to match. Exactly. So, and what we could probably do is maybe copy line 135 and paste it down after line 136. Yeah, cool. Right. And so I think there's a couple more changes we want to make. Obviously, I can just tell you what to do them, and we're doing a kind of a robot pairing where I'm telling you exactly what to do. But if you look at this code now, you're thinking about the flow of the code, I think there's a couple more changes we might want to make. Can you think what they are?
So when the map API key is nil, so the key equals, maybe we don't need it in the application layout because I will assume that it's in the production environment, right? So do I have to change the application layout?
I don't think you do right now. I mean, probably because we're gonna you're gonna check something in. What I would be tempted to do on line 22 is just, you've got the working key there. I would just replace it at the moment with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just so we don't accidentally check the key into GitHub. So do you want to just replace the actual key value there with key equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I don't know if your screen is. Are you editing line 22 in the layout file?
No.
Yeah. So why don't you take your mouse cursor and put it just after key equals on line 22 in application.html.erb. Yeah, and just highlight the key. So can you like highlight the whole key? So you like hold down, mouse click, and then Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then just type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. Yeah, and that's so it's kind of out of sequence. But if you think about the test that I gave you, like so when we we ping ponged towards the end of the last session, and I gave you the first form of the test. So you made that test pass by having key equals something in there. But actually, for the test to pass, it doesn't matter what it is. So, if you save now the application.html.erb, but so on this, you've already kind of made a change to the code. So the thing that, in terms of doing this ping pong, the thing to focus on now is changes that you might make to the test. But so I think you're right that yes, ultimately we will make more changes to the application layout. But if you look at the current test, is there? I mean, I can see one thing that's kind of wrong and one thing that's unnecessary. If you look at the test now, lines 134 to 137, I mean, one is, does it all make sense what it's doing? And is there any way that you want to change it to make it better? Yeah, good move. Yeah, I was thinking exactly that. Yeah. We want to check for one thing or the other, don't we? And that's exactly right.
So
yes, exactly. Yeah, that was exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, the kind of in the structure before, we would have still checked for the key, and then now I think you could save that and run this test, and we want to make sure that it. I guess we want to make sure that it fails. Well, we'll see. It may not fail. Let's run it and see.
okay. Oh, there's a break point.
Yeah, you can just do Control D there. Control D. Yeah, it's fine. And then hit. Now you hit back up and.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So that's failing. That's interesting. Let's just scroll up and look at the error message. Do we just want to check that the error message that we're getting is the correct one? And I think it's probably right. And it's showing us the whole layout, so it's very long. Keep going up. Keep going up. There we go. Yeah, and it's right. So the test we've got there was we're expecting it not to match key equals. Let's see there. So it says, then I should see the Google Map key in the correct location, and says we expected, this content not to match key equals. Does that make sense? Does that failure make sense to you? Does that error make sense?
So here. Let's see. If we are hard coded in our application.layout, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and in our test, we expect it the key equals NV map API key.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there.
So do you think it's the right error? Do you think it's the error that we wanted to get? And if you're not sure,
so,
oh, go on.
Because we had coded in our application layout, so but we expect the key NV map API key, right? So we should probably not hard coded in our application layout. Instead, we should use the NV to get the
right. Yeah, we need to be. I mean, the what we've got in the application.html.erb was enough to pass my initial very poor test, but it's not good enough to pass the more sophisticated, the better test that you've written. And we can see that I think you're right. This is the right kind of failure. It's failed on line 135. We're basically saying when the API key is nil, which is it's going to be in production, then we don't want to have any attempt to set the key going on in the thing. And at the moment, it would set it to be key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is no good. So we've now got a test that's failing for the right reason. And so in the ping pong process, you could refactor now. If there was any change that you wanted to make to the test just to clean it up, you could do that. Or maybe because we haven't got so much time, do you want to commit this and push it back up, and then I'll make it pass?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, and then so this is, we've got the test failure. We've checked that it's the right kind of failure, and so it's the time to pong. So if you go to the terminal, and you can check this in. So you're on this branch. Yeah.
So basically, there are 2 files I modified.
Yeah, and I guess, yeah, you get commit -am.
Right. Failing test.
Yeah, and you can say to make sure key is not in production. Yeah, that'll do that. So if you then git push, yeah, or now you can, let's see what happens if you push. Now, I think you've got the upstream and you've got your fork. So maybe you will push that to your fork. Yeah, and I think there's an error there, but it's related to the other thing. So I think you've pushed that to the right. I think that's good. Let me just see if I can pull that down on my side. I will just continue there. I will stash my local changes, and I will git pull origin 127 408. There we go. And hopefully, no, I've pulled the wrong thing in. Oh no! Oh no, I pulled the wrong thing in. Oh, somebody's phoning me. Hold on a sec. Hello? No, that's weird. Somebody's. Oh, anyway, I don't know about that. I've done the wrong. No. Did I pull the right thing down? What did I do? I pulled the wrong one down. So I can do here. I can do git reset merge to get rid of that. What I should have done is pulled down this rebooted one. Hopefully, yes. So I've got your changes. Excellent. So what I do, having pulled down your changes, so that's exactly the pong step. I've pulled down your changes, and so I'm going to check that I get exactly the same error as you, which is a good indication that I've got, the same code. So yeah, I've got exactly that error there. Great. So I was just going to show you, like there's a little refactoring step that I'm tempted to do here. Like in this part of the if statement, we know that env gmap API key is nil, so we actually don't have to have it in here. Yeah, would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So that makes that a bit simpler. The test is still going to fail. Yeah, I think we leave it like that there. And what we want to do then to make this test pass, I guess, and so if I'm being careful, I run that again and make sure that my refactoring of the test hasn't changed the way the test fails, and the test still fails in the right way. And so in principle, I can now add Figaro, which I guess we're going to have everywhere in all of the different environments. So we'll just pop that in there. And so if I have Figaro and I run bundle here, I think I can just have, for example, I can put, now where, I think it goes in config. I just have a new file in there called application.yaml, like so. And I don't want to add that to Git. In fact, I want to put that in git ignore and make sure that that's not checked in. And then if I refer back to how Figaro works, Figaro gem, I want to put that, so that they have it like, I guess I just use sorry, I'm mumbling, my apologies. I think I just put in here, so gmap API key, and I can't remember what the actual key is that we're using now. I'm just going to put something in because I don't want to get distracted. So we have called that gmap API key. We've got that in there. Now I guess there's a question, if we just see, is there anything else that we have to do to configure it in Rails? So in Rails, I guess, is there any Figaro gem, Figaro bundle, installation? Oh, okay. Actually, so the things I would have done, I could have done like this, but if that's all it does, then I don't know. Environment. So perhaps there, perhaps it will just work. So, well, so I've installed Figaro, but the other thing that we need to do is now we kind of want like a helper here that adds, so if I take that out, we kind of want a little helper here that determines whether the key is present or not. So if we call this the gmap key helper or something, let's just call it gmap key, I guess. And this is our top level application. What's it? So there we go, app views. Let's have a look for, where are our helpers? There we go, application helper. So we could just throw in here a little method, which would be dmap, what did I just call this? Gmap key, like so. And what we want is, we want to replicate that logic there. So we've got this, that's kind of the start, isn't it, of the beginning of it. And so gmap key, basically it should return, so nothing. So we basically say return nothing if env gmap API key, like that. And then otherwise, we want to actually return, I guess the question we're asking there is it nil? And then if it's not nil, which is the case here, then we want to return this little thing to append it. That. Now, why isn't that working? That's funny. It's got a little, why is it complaining there? Huh. Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. Aha. So let's see, we've got gmap key there. And what we can see here is if we run, I don't know if it's going to work. I've done, several things together there. Ooh, undefined method reject for gmap API key equals, okay, so Figaro has complained about. Okay. I think it needs to be, so the Figaro file needs to have like that. It needs to have a colon instead of an equal sign. And it passes. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Awesome.
So that's green. And I think we have pretty much, we have kind of a solution there. I'm going to just say to git commit -am. So adds Figaro support. I guess what we're not doing, the thing here is we're kind of, there's, I mean, we'll run out of time, so we'll have to stop there. There's a leftover thing, which is that at the moment now, because we've got this specified, it means that this bit will never run. So we kind of, there's a little bit more to do there. Let's push that up and get this onto your computer so that you can run it. Oops, wrong. We kind of need to, have like a more sophisticated test so that, and I've lost the test. Where's the test? Map feature. It needs to check that the Google Map key is not present. Like we've got like the happy path here when the Google Map key is in place. And we probably need to have another scenario for, the production when it's not there. To, but we can do that another time. Do you want to pull that down to you locally? And
okay.
Just check that it runs for you locally.
Yes, git pull. Okay, right?
Yeah, I think you can just type git pull and it may just work. Let's see. It may complain about branches and different things.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So you'll probably will need to run. You might need to run bundle by itself. You can just try and run it. It may be. It depends if Figaro is already installed. Just run it there. Yeah. So you just need to run bundle. Just type the word bundle. Just type the word bundle and hit return. You don't even need install. The install is optional. But yeah. So just bundle will pull things down, and then and we'll see if that passes. Oh, it's doing the bundle install. Yeah. And so what you'll want to do there is maybe get you need to create your own application.yaml file and put in like a Gmaps API key in order for the system to run locally for you. But we can do that another time. I'll just get ready. So this is Federico. Yeah.
That's ready to capitalize.
Yeah. So it's capital letters. Gmap API key, and then colon, and then yeah, you can put that you can put in just a number there to see if it works. I mean, the thing in some ways is you can. What we should probably do next is get you set up with your own Gmap API key, and that would be good. But there, so that might take a little while to install. Anyway, that was great pairing with you, Fred. I hope that the ping pong idea made sense.
Yes, it's awesome. I have never tried this before.
It's cool. It's cool. Yeah. Well, this is the kind of pairing thing that Federico is paying for the premium plus, and it's good. It's good fun. It's good fun, I think. Anyway, so we'll maybe chat more soon, or maybe I'll see you in the Elixir hangout.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll just stop this one for the moment and catch up with you very soon.
Okay.
Cool. All right. See you in a bit.